Part 1. Introduction. Welcome, dear listener, to a tale that begins in a small town nestled between rolling hills and whispering forests. A town where time seems to move a little slower, and the air is always filled with the scent of wildflowers and fresh pine. This is a place where the sunsets paint the sky in hues of gold and pink, casting a warm glow over the tranquil streets. In this town, there lived a young woman named Emily. She was known far and wide for her kindness and gentle spirit. Emily had a way of making everyone she met feel seen and heard. Her smile like a ray of light on even the gloomiest of days. Her days were spent tending to her little garden, where colorful blooms swayed in the breeze, and birds sang sweet melodies in the branches above. But despite the beauty that surrounded her, Emily carried a sadness deep within her heart, a sadness that whispered to her in the stillness of the night, reminding her of dreams left unfulfilled and promises yet to be kept. She longed for something more, something that would set her soul on fire and make her feel truly alive. One evening, as the stars twinkled in the ink-black sky, Emily found herself standing at the edge of the forest that bordered the town. The trees swayed gently in the moonlight, their leaves rustling like whispers of secrets waiting to be discovered. The forest had always held a mysterious allure for Emily, its shadows hinting at hidden wonders and untold stories. With a courage born from the depths of her longing, Emily stepped beyond the threshold of the forest, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and excitement. The path ahead was bathed in soft moonlight, leading her deeper into the heart of the ancient woods. Every step she took seemed to draw her further away from the world she knew, immersing her in a realm of magic and possibility. As she walked, the night around her seemed to come alive with the hum of unseen creatures and the rustle of unseen wings. The air was thick with the scent of earth and moss, wrapping around her like a comforting embrace. It was as if the forest itself was welcoming her, acknowledging the yearning in her soul and offering her a chance for transformation. And so, dear listener, our story begins with Emily venturing into the unknown, her heart open to the mysteries that await her in the depths of the enchanted forest. Will she find the answers she seeks? Will she discover the key to unlocking the secrets of her past and the dreams of her future? Join me as we journey together into the heart of the forest and uncover the magic that lies hidden within its ancient boughs. Part 2. The Conversation. Welcome back to our story. In Part 1, we met our main character, Sarah, who had stumbled upon an old journal in her grandmother's attic. The journal seemed to hold secrets and memories long forgotten. As Sarah delved into its pages, she uncovered a mysterious tale that seemed to mirror her own life in unexpected ways. Part 2 takes us deeper into Sarah's journey. Intrigued by the journal's revelations, Sarah decides to seek answers from her grandmother, Margaret, who had always been a source of wisdom and comfort. Their conversation unfolds in Margaret's cozy living room, filled with the warmth of a crackling fireplace and the subtle scent of lavender. As Sarah tentatively broaches the subject of the journal, Margaret's eyes light up with recognition. She listens intently as Sarah describes the strange connections she feels to the past events recounted in the journal. Margaret's gaze softens with a mix of emotions, nostalgia, regret, and a hint of something unspoken. With gentle wisdom, Margaret begins to unravel the threads of the past, weaving a tapestry of family history that spans generations. She shares tales of love and loss, of triumphs and tribulations, painting a vivid portrait of ancestors long gone but never forgotten. Sarah listens in awe as Margaret's voice weaves a spellbinding narrative, each word tinged with a touch of melancholy and resilience. The stories come alive in Sarah's mind, painting vivid images of a bygone era where love endured through the harshest of trials. As the evening wears on, Sarah learns of her family's enduring legacy, of courage in the face of adversity, of sacrifices made for the ones they loved, and of the enduring bonds that transcended time and space. Margaret's words ring with a quiet strength, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of life's uncertainties. By the end of their conversation, Sarah feels a deep sense of connection to her roots, a newfound appreciation for the complexities of her family's past, and a renewed sense of purpose in her own journey ahead. Margaret's wisdom has planted seeds of understanding and acceptance in Sarah's heart, transforming the old journal from a mystery to a doorway into her own heritage. As the fire crackles softly in the background, Sarah embraces Margaret, grateful for the gift of her grandmother's stories. In that moment of quiet understanding, Sarah realizes that the past and present are intricately intertwined, guiding her towards a future filled with promise and possibility. And so, Part 2 ends with Sarah's heart brimming with newfound resolve as she embarks on a quest to uncover the hidden truths buried within the pages of the old journal. Join us in Part 3 as Sarah's journey unfolds further, leading her deeper into the labyrinth of her family's history and her own destiny. Part 3: Setting Boundaries. Welcome back to our podcast series on setting boundaries. In Part 1, we introduced the concept of boundaries and their importance in maintaining healthy relationships. Part 2 delved into the crucial aspect of having difficult conversations about boundaries. Now, in Part 3, we explore practical strategies for setting and maintaining boundaries in various areas of life. Boundaries are like invisible fences that protect our well-being and establish our personal limits. They can be physical, emotional, mental, or even spiritual. Setting boundaries is an act of self-care and self-respect, a way to honor our values and protect our peace of mind. When it comes to relationships, clear communication is key. Be honest with yourself about what you need and expect from others. Express your boundaries calmly and assertively, without guilt or aggression. Remember, boundaries are not meant to control or manipulate others. They are about self-respect and healthy connection. In the workplace, boundaries are crucial for maintaining a healthy work-life balance. Learn to say no when your plate is already full. Prioritize your tasks and set realistic expectations for yourself and others. Communicate your boundaries with professionalism and confidence, ensuring that your needs are respected while also fulfilling your responsibilities. In friendships, setting boundaries can deepen the bond by fostering mutual respect. Be clear about your preferences and limits, and be open to listening to your friends' boundaries as well. Healthy friendships thrive on respect, honesty, and understanding. By setting and respecting boundaries, you create a safe space for authentic connection to flourish. When it comes to family, boundaries can be particularly challenging yet essential. It's okay to set limits with family members, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Remember that boundaries are a form of self-care, not a rejection of your loved ones. By setting boundaries with family, you assert your autonomy and protect your emotional well-being. Self-care is a fundamental aspect of setting boundaries. Learn to prioritize your needs and make time for activities that rejuvenate your mind, body, and spirit. Practice self-compassion and self-awareness. And don't be afraid to seek support when needed. Setting boundaries with yourself is a powerful act of self-love and personal growth. In conclusion, setting boundaries is a continuous journey of self-discovery and empowerment. By establishing clear boundaries in relationships, work, friendships, family, and self-care, you cultivate a sense of balance, respect, and authenticity in your life. Remember, boundaries are not walls to isolate you. They are bridges to genuine connection and well-being. Join us next time for Part 4, where we explore the art of boundary maintenance and navigating challenges along the way. Thank you for tuning in. And remember, your boundaries matter. Part 4. Escalation. Welcome to Part 4 of our story, titled, Escalation. After setting boundaries with those in your life, sometimes a natural escalation occurs. When you establish what you will and will not accept, others may test these limits. It's like a dance of power, a push and pull of expectations. We find ourselves facing moments that can define relationships. In this chapter, our protagonist experiences such a moment. A friend who once respected boundaries now starts to overstep them. This friend, often joyful and carefree, seems to have forgotten the lines drawn in their conversations. Small hints of disrespect start to surface. Subtle at first, but unmistakable. Our protagonist, feeling a mix of hurt and confusion, knows they must address this change. But hesitation lingers in the air, a reluctance to confront the situation. How do you tell someone you care about that they have crossed a line? Will they understand, or will it lead to further tension? As days pass and the friend's behavior persists, our protagonist grapples with their emotions. Disappointment and frustration tangle together, creating a knot of unease. The once easy laughter shared now feels strained, laced with unspoken words. Finally, a decision is made. Our protagonist gathers their thoughts, preparing to have a candid conversation. Words carefully chosen, emotions kept in check. They approach the friend with a heart weighed down by the burden of honesty. The meeting unfolds, nerves expectant as the words leave our protagonist's lips. The friend listens, their expression a mix of surprise and realization. The lines of communication, once blurred, start to gain clarity with each shared sentence. The friend, to our protagonist's relief, shows understanding. Apologies are exchanged, and a mutual agreement to respect boundaries is reached. The air clears, tension dissipating like morning mist under the rising sun. Through this escalation, a growth is seen. Both our protagonist and their friend learn the importance of open communication and mutual respect. The friendship, once tested, emerges stronger, fortified by the crucible of honest dialogue. As our story unfolds, we see that escalation does not always lead to conflict. Sometimes, it is the catalyst for deeper connections and strengthened relationships. It is a journey of self-discovery and understanding, where each step forward brings us closer to our true selves and to those we hold dear. And so, our protagonist's story continues, navigating the ever-evolving landscape of relationships with newfound wisdom and resilience. Join us for the next chapter as we explore the unfolding journey of growth, forgiveness, and the enduring bond of friendship. Part 5. The Final Straw. Once upon a time in our story, we've journeyed through relationships full of ups and downs. Our characters learned to communicate better, to set boundaries, and even faced escalating conflicts as they navigated the complexities of their connections. Part 4 saw tensions rise and emotions flare, testing the limits of patience and understanding. In Part 5, The Final Straw, we witness a pivotal moment where everything comes to a head. The simmering discontent, unspoken frustrations, and unresolved issues reach a crescendo. Each decision, each word, each action carries the weight of all that came before. The final straw, as we know, is often invisible until it falls. It's that one thing, seemingly small on its own, but heavy with underlying meanings and histories. Our characters find themselves at a crossroads, knowing that whatever comes next could change everything irreversibly. Feelings of anger, hurt, and disappointment swirl in the air like a storm brewing on the horizon. Each heartbeat echoes a sense of foreboding, a silent countdown to a moment of reckoning. The time for avoidance is past, now is the time for confrontation. For truths laid bare no matter how harsh they may be. The characters stand face to face, their eyes mirroring a mixture of longing and resignation. In this charged silence, words unsaid carry more weight than any that have been spoken. The tension is palpable, suffocating in its intensity as the air crackles with unspoken words and unshed tears. Choices hang in the balance, poised between reconciliation and separation, forgiveness and blame. What happens next will determine the course of their futures, shaping the narrative of their lives in ways they cannot yet foresee. As the final straw falls, A wave of understanding washes over them, like a balm on raw wounds. In this moment of vulnerability, a glimmer of hope emerges. Fragile yet resilient, walls built over time begin to crumble, revealing the raw, beating hearts beneath the armor of pride and pain. The resolution may not be easy, may not be perfect, but it is a beginning, a chance to rebuild, to heal, to forge new connections stronger for having weathered the storm. The final straw becomes a bridge, a turning point, a path to redemption and renewal. And so, dear listeners, as we reach the end of this chapter, let us remember that even in the darkest moments, there lies the seed of possibility. The final straw may break the camel's back, but it can also be the catalyst for transformation, for growth, for a new dawn on the horizon. As our characters take their first tentative steps towards reconciliation, towards a future unknown yet filled with promise, we bid them farewell for now. Until we meet again, remember that every ending holds within it the seeds of a new beginning. And in that constant cycle of endings and beginnings, lies the story of us all. Maya tries to enter his apartment using an old key, captured on camera. In part 6 of our podcast series, we delve into the unfolding events surrounding Maya's attempt to enter her apartment using an old key. All caught on camera. As we follow along this pivotal moment, the tension and suspense are palpable. Maya stands before the familiar door, her heart racing with anticipation and nervousness. The key in her hand feels heavier than usual, a symbol of the uncertainty that lies ahead. With a deep breath, she inserts the weathered key into the lock, the metal scraping against the mechanism. It resists at first, as if reluctant to grant her entry. The camera, discreetly placed nearby, captures every detail, every movement she makes. Maya's brow furrows in concentration as she twists the key, hoping against hope that it will turn, that it will grant her access to the familiar sanctuary she once called home. But fate has other plans. The key refuses to cooperate, stubbornly refusing to unlock the door. Maya's frustration mounts, her fingers trembling slightly as she tries again and again. Each failed attempt chips away at her composure, the weight of her situation pressing down on her like a heavy burden. As minutes pass like hours, Maya's resolve begins to waver. Doubt creeps in, whispering cruel words of defeat in her ear. Why is this happening? Why won't the key work? Desperation colors her actions now, her movements growing more frantic, more desperate. Finally, the realization dawns on her like a cold, harsh light. The key is obsolete, useless, a relic of the past that no longer has a place in her present reality. Tears well up in Maya's eyes, a mixture of sadness and anger swirling within her. She is locked out, not just from her apartment but from the life she once knew. The camera continues to roll, capturing this raw, unfiltered moment of vulnerability. Maya stands there, a solitary figure in the dimly lit hallway, facing an uncertain future with nothing but shattered dreams and broken promises behind her. And as we reach the conclusion of this episode, we are left with a poignant reminder that sometimes, the key to moving forward lies not in the locks we once held dear, but in the courage to embrace the unknown and forge a new path, one step at a time. Join us next time as we witness Maya's journey of self-discovery and resilience in the face of adversity, as she learns to unlock the doors to a brighter tomorrow. Part 6. The Confrontation. As Maya stood outside his apartment building, her heart raced with a mix of fear and determination. The key she held felt heavy in her hand, a relic of the past she thought she had left behind. She took a deep breath, willing herself to go through with what she knew needed to be done. The security camera above the entrance had captured her failed attempt to enter using that old key. She knew she had been caught on film, her actions a stark reminder of how far she had let things spiral out of control. But now, facing the consequences head-on, Maya felt a surge of newfound courage. She pressed the buzzer, announcing her presence to him. The seconds that passed seemed like an eternity, the silence heavy with unspoken tension. When the door finally clicked open, Maya steeled herself and stepped inside, her footsteps echoing in the empty hallway. He was waiting for her, his expression a mix of surprise and guarded caution. Maya could sense the emotions swirling beneath the surface, years of unresolved issues simmering just out of reach. She knew that this moment would define their future, whatever that may hold. Their eyes met, a silent exchange of words unspoken yet deeply understood. Maya felt the weight of their history pressing down on her. The pain of past hurts still raw and unhealed. But she also glimpsed a glimmer of hope. A chance for closure and maybe even redemption. As she spoke, her voice quivered with emotion. Each word a carefully chosen step towards the truth. She laid bare her heart. The years of silence falling away as she confessed her regrets and sorrows. She saw the flicker of recognition in his eyes. A mirror to her own inner turmoil. He listened, his own walls crumbling in the face of her honesty. The air between them crackled with unresolved tension. A palpable reminder of all that had led them to this point. But amidst the chaos of emotions, Maya felt a sense of liberation. A weight lifted from her shoulders. In that moment of confrontation, Maya and him stood on the precipice of a new beginning. The wounds of the past would not magically disappear, but perhaps they could finally start to heal. As they faced each other, vulnerable yet resolute, Maya knew that whatever came next, she would no longer be held captive by the ghosts of yesterday. The confrontation had set into motion a chain of events that would reshape their lives in ways they could not yet imagine. But for now, in this fragile moment of truth and reconciliation, Maya found solace in the knowledge that she had taken the first step towards a future defined not by past mistakes, but by the courage to confront them. Part 7. Consequences. As Maya stood frozen in front of her ex-boyfriend's apartment door, the weight of her actions settled upon her like a heavy shroud. The once familiar key in her hand now felt foreign, a relic of a past she desperately wanted to erase. The security camera had caught her attempting to unlock the door, an undeniable breach of trust and boundaries. The confrontation that followed was intense, emotions raw and unbridled. The consequences of her impulsive decision reverberated through both their lives. Her ex-boyfriend's sense of security shattered, trust irreparably damaged. Maya's own self-image wavered, guilt and regret gnawing at her conscience. How had she let it come to this point? The lines between love and obsession blurred, leaving a trail of heartache in their wake. The fallout from that night spilled into the days that followed. Each step forward felt like wading through quicksand, the ground shifting beneath her with every move. In seeking closure, Maya had opened wounds that refused to heal. Consequences rippled outward, touching not only her but all connected to the tangled web of emotions she had weaved. Friends offered comfort, their words a balm to her wounded spirit. Yet, the weight of her actions remained, a heavy burden she carried alone. The once vivid dreams of a shared future now faded, replaced by the harsh reality of a relationship irreversibly altered. Choices made in haste now cast a long shadow over what once was. As Maya grappled with the consequences of her choices, she found solace in moments of quiet reflection. Beneath the tumultuous surface of her emotions lay a glimmer of understanding. She had lost herself in the depths of a love turned sour. But through the pain, she discovered a strength she had not known before. Moving forward meant accepting the past for what it was. The scars would remain, reminders of a journey fraught with lessons hard learned. Maya vowed to tread lightly, to guard her heart with newfound vigilance. The road ahead stretched uncertainly, but she walked it with a determination born of resilience. In the aftermath of shattered illusions and fractured hearts, Maya faced a crossroads. The consequences of her actions had carved a path forward, marking a new chapter in her story. With courage as her companion, she embraced the unknown, ready to write the next chapter in the unfolding saga of her life. Part 8. Resolution. Welcome to Part 8. Resolution. As the dust settles and emotions start to calm, Maya finds herself facing the aftermath of her actions. The confrontation with Ben left her shaken. With words still echoing in her mind, she realized that their relationship had reached a breaking point, a moment where decisions had to be made. In the stillness of her apartment, Maya reflects on the choices she made, wondering if things could have been different. Regrets and what-ifs swirl in her thoughts. But deep down, she knows that she made the right decision in confronting Ben. It was a difficult conversation, but it was necessary for both of them to move forward. With a heavy heart, Maya packs her belongings, preparing to leave the apartment that once held so many memories. The walls seem to whisper stories of joy and pain, love and sorrow. Each item she packs carries a weight of nostalgia, a bittersweet reminder of the life she shared with Ben. As she closes the door behind her for the last time, a sense of relief washes over Maya. The closure of a chapter brings mixed emotions. but she carries with her the lessons learned and the strength gained. She knows that this experience, though painful, has shaped her in ways she never expected. Walking away from the past, Maya looks to the future with a glimmer of hope. The road ahead may be uncertain, but she is determined to embrace whatever comes her way. The journey of self-discovery continues, with new adventures waiting on the horizon. In the quiet of her new space, Maya finds solace in the simple moments of solitude. The freedom to be alone with her thoughts brings a sense of peace. A chance to breathe and rediscover herself outside the shadows of a failed relationship. Days turn into weeks, and Maya finds herself smiling more often, laughter reaching her eyes once again. The healing process is slow but steady, a gentle unfolding of a heart that was once shattered. She rediscovers the joy of simple pleasures, the beauty of solitude, and the strength in vulnerability. As the sun sets on a chapter closed, Maya stands tall, a survivor of her own story. The wounds of the past have scarred but not broken her spirit. With each passing day, she learns to dance in the rain, to embrace the storms and bask in the sunshine that follows. Maya's journey is far from over, but in this moment of resolution, she finds peace in the knowledge that she is stronger than she ever thought possible. And as the stars twinkle in the night sky, she whispers to the universe her gratitude for the lessons learned and the growth experienced. And with a heart full of hope and a soul on fire, Maya steps into the unknown, ready to write the next chapter of her life with courage, grace, and a newfound sense of self.